Hello golfers, my name is Cody Stewart from CS Performance Golf, and today I'm going to show you a quick movement screen that you can do as you get back into your golf season. Many of us forget that there's more to our golf swing than just getting our swing evaluated. It's also very important to get our body evaluated for how we move. In the off season, we can often lose a lot of the gains we made last year. We can get stiff and we can get weak, and this really affects how we swing the golf club coming the following season. So here's a quick movement assessment that you can do to check out the key areas in our body that need to be mobile, starting with the ankles, hips, thoracic spine, and our shoulders. Enjoy. In this assessment, we're going to evaluate ankle mobility. Ankle mobility is incredibly important in the golf swing and being able to maintain your golf posture. So if I get myself into my golf posture, my leg and my foot are in a position known as dorsiflexion. Throughout the golf swing, it's critically important to be able to maintain that so that you don't pop up. So this test is going to evaluate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I take my shoe off. What I'm going to do is I've set up this golf shaft to recreate a wall. You can use a wall at home, it's always the easiest way. I'm going to position my toe 4 inches in front of my wall or my club here, and all I'm going to do is dorsiflex forward, extending the knee out and trying to touch the shaft. As you can see, myself, I have an ankle mobility issue. I can't reach that stake. If I show you a down the line version of this, comes straight on here, 4 inches away, and same thing, I'll try to extend out and touch the shaft. The big thing to consider here is making sure that you're using ankle mobility, not hip mobility. A really easy way to cheat this is to dive the hip out and allow the knee to come forward. Throughout this, you have to make sure that your heel stays on the ground as well. So an easy way to check this is just to make sure you have a shaft down your knee and seeing it going forward rather than diving out to the side. So that's a really good way to test your ankle mobility. In this assessment, I'm going to look at how Connor's hips move. So obviously in the golf swing, you need to be able to internally and externally rotate the hips to be able to create some power and consistency. So I'm going to ask Connor to remove one of his shoes real quick for me. Awesome. We're going to place that just on the inside of the foot. I'm going to have Connor sit nice and tall, place both fists between his knees, making sure that they stay in contact the entire time. What we're going to do now is Connor's going to internally rotate, so bring out his right foot and try to clear the shoe. What we also have to make sure is that Connor doesn't sway one way in order to make up for any lack of hip rotation. So staying nice and tall, Connor's going to internally rotate, and we can see here that Connor is not able to clear his foot outside of the shoe. So now we can see that we have a right side internal hip rotation problem. What we would do next is we would test the left side and go from there. But clearly, this right side is something we're going to need to work on. In this assessment, we're going to start looking at how Connor is able to use his thoracic spine. Thoracic spine mobility is absolutely critical in the golf swing in order to create a nice big shoulder turn rather than, say, get into a position such as reverse spine and start putting our body into positions that could actually hurt ourselves. So what I'm going to have Connor do is I'm going to give him this shaft or any sort of dowel, anything like that. I've set up 2 shafts here. We're creating a 45 angle for each side to see how far he can rotate. So what Connor's going to do is I'm going to get him to sit a little bit more on the front of the chair just to allow him to be able to rotate properly. He's going to put the shaft behind his collar. If you're wearing a golf shirt, right behind the collar is a perfect spot, but we want to make sure he's not grabbing the club because then we're going to bend it. Don't want it to break. So he's going to put the club right there. That's perfect. When he rotates to his right side, he's going to put his right foot, cross it over his left, making sure that the knees are together. Perfect. Sitting nice and tall, he's going to rotate to the right. And so here we can see that Connor has not reached this 45-degree angle. So now we know that he has a thoracic spine issue rotating to the right. So Connor's going to now cross his left foot over his right. Same thing, making sure the knees stay together. And he's going to rotate to the left. So on this side, we can see Connor's a little bit better, and he certainly passes. So Connor is a right-handed golfer. We might start making that connection. Okay, he has poor thoracic spine mobility. When he rotates to his right, we may see that coming out in his backswing. So that's a great way to test your thoracic spine mobility. In this final assessment, we're going to look at how Connor's shoulders are moving. So I'm going to have Connor set up in his 5-iron posture for me, just facing me. Perfect. Awesome. So in this position, I'm going to have Connor extend his right arm straight out. He's going to then bend it to 90 degrees. So this test is called the 90-90, you can see why. And I'm going to have him externally rotate back as far as he can. No pain. I want to see how far he can rotate that back. So as we can see, Connor is pretty close to being able to get his arm back to his spine angle. So what we're looking for is the ability to rotate it past spine angle. A lot of you might see, do it again, Connor might be a little bit short. Show him what it looks like. Perfect. So we're not able to match spine angle, then we certainly know that we have some sort of shoulder restriction. We're going to do that on both sides. We want to do it in golf posture to see how the shoulder is working. All right, to quickly review, we've gone through some self-assessments that we can do to see how our body's functioning in the areas that we certainly need to be mobile. So we went through our ankles, hips, shoulders, and our thoracic spine. And when we went through this with Connor, we did see a few areas where we need some improvement. So this would be even more of a reason to come in for a full assessment, just so we can understand how the body's functioning and then make the connection to how we are swinging the golf club. So as we get back into the season, yes, it's important to get your swing evaluated, but it's also critical to see how your body's functioning so you can have your best season yet. Thanks for watching.